You know, one of the most frequently asked questions that I get is how to call to a gobbler that's still on the limb. This turkey hasn't flew down yet, so how do you work him? When he's up on the limb and he's strutting and he's a gobbler, how do you call to him? Boy, that's a great question, and it's a question that really doesn't have one answer, because it really depends on the scenario. It depends on the terrain. It depends on if he's got hens with him, if he's got other gobblers with him, if he's by himself. It really just depends on the scenario that you're hunting on that particular day. So there's not really one perfect answer to that question, because every hunt's different, every turkey's different. But probably I'm just going to take one scenario here and try to break it down and tell you how I hunt in that situation, because we all like to hunt a roosted turkey. We all like to know the day before where he's at, because boy, I mean, half the battle's won right there. If you know where he's flew up at, if you even know the trees in, and go back in there the next day, boy, I mean, we all like that, because we know that half the battle's won. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get him. It's just, boy, you took a step in the right direction. But if you can get out the next day, or the next morning rather, slip in there and get in there where he's roosted at, maybe even slip in there close to him to where you can see him on the limb, boy, that really gets a turkey hunter all fired up. But in saying that, let me say this. I personally don't try to get super tight on a turkey if I'm hunting open hardwoods, or I'm hunting an open field situation. Say maybe the turkeys have roosted, maybe there's a little bit of stretch of timber that goes between two fields or something, or a power line or something. In situations like that, I really don't try to get super tight, say 50 yards or under to that turkey, because even in an open situation, boy, I tell you, you're really pushing it, because let's say it's a moonlit night, or maybe a half full moon or a full moon, and that light and the sky light's coming down. Even in the pitch dark, I've bumped turkeys off in the pitch dark trying to get set up a little bit too close, and them fly off. So I don't try to get super tight. And I know some guys are good at it, and some guys can do it, and if you can do it and you think you can use the terrain to do it, go for it. But I personally like to stay back about 70, 80, sometimes even 100 yards if it's a really open situation. And there's another reason for that, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But here's what I like to do. If I can work the terrain, let me just say this. If I'm hunting hardwoods, or maybe in some thick hardwoods where I feel like I can use the terrain, or a bluff or something, to get super tight to this turkey, I'll get as close as I can to him if I feel confident I can use the terrain to get to him. But if not, I try to stay back at least, 70, 80 yards, maybe sometimes even 100. And what I will do is I'll try to tree call to him. Now, if you're not familiar with tree calling, which I think most of us are, it's just very soft calling. You're not getting aggressive. You're not shaking the woods. You're not getting all crazy with your call. You're just soft calling, something like this. Now you got to remember, this mic's here, so it's actually a little bit louder than what it is without the mic. So this is a hen that's just waking up. She's walking back and forth on the limb. She's stretching, she's doing her feathers and all this stuff. And if he gobbles at me by doing that, boy, I feel real good, because that lets me know he knows where I'm at. But now here's the thing. You remember when I said I don't want to get really super tight? And here's another reason why. He's up high, you're low. He can see farther than you can up high, right? Deer hunters should know that. That's why you get up in a tree. So if you're super tight and he knows he ought to be seeing that hen, you're that close, and he knows he ought to be seeing that hen, he'll stay up there on the limb even longer than normal sometimes, and he'll look, he'll gobble, and you feel real good because he's gobbling really hard, but he's looking for that hen. And if he don't see that hen after a while, and he knows that hen should be there, and you're down there calling and over calling too much, a lot of times he knows something ain't quite right, and a lot of times he's looking around. And if it's open field situation or open woods, he may be up there and he can see what you can't. He looks out there and about 100 yards out in the open field, or maybe and he sees some hens moving through there, or turkeys moving through there. Where do you think he's going to go? To this hen he can't see, that he hears, that keeps yakking at him, or the hens that he can see right out the hill. Well, of course, he's going to go that way, right? So in a situation like that, I think you can overcall and mess yourself up. So that's why I don't try to call a whole lot to them when they're in the tree. Some guys do it. I just personally don't. So what I do is I want to stay back far enough to where he's going to have to come a little bit of ways looking for me. Now, I don't want to get super far, like 150, 200 yards back or whatever. I want to get up there, 70, 60, 70, 80 yards, depending on the terrain. I want to get up there close enough to where he has to come looking for me. Okay, he has to come a little bit distance looking for me. But I want to make him think that I'm not super interested also, that I'm not coming to him. So he's going to have to come to me. So you don't want to overcall. You don't want to get all crazy and start yakking. Now, if you can see him, now this is a better scenario. If you can see him up on the limb, let's say through binoculars, or maybe you can see him, maybe you're close enough and use the terrain, get up there 50 yards or under, and you can actually see him up on the limb. If he's turned away, and let's say I feel, and I've had this happen, and I know he's about ready to pitch off the other way around the hill or something, then I might get a little bit more aggressive in my tree calling, or even do a fly down cackle and try to get a little bit aggressive, because what's it going to hurt? He's about to leave anyway, so it's not going to hurt nothing. So when he turns away and I know that he's looking that direction a lot and I feel like he's just losing interest, then I might get a little bit more aggressive, something like this. Get a little bit more aggressive. And then sometimes, and I've seen this happen, I've actually had them turn on a limb totally my way when I'm getting a little bit aggressive, and have them fly down right in my direction instead of flying off the other direction. So you can do that. Does it work all the time? Like I say, nothing works all the time, but I have done it. So that's only if I feel like he's losing interest, and maybe he just is not too interested anymore. He's not gobbling as much at me, and maybe I see him just keep looking the other way. Then I'll try to turn him. But if he's gobbling a lot and he's gobbling my direction, and I can see him and he's up there and he's looking maybe toward me, I'll just shut up and I won't say nothing to him, and I'll let him come looking for me. And so again, it just depends on the turkey. It just depends on the situation. It just depends on the scenario. If he's got hens with him, it's going to be harder, because if they pitch out, then he's going to pitch out with them. But don't lose hope, because here's what I do. If the hens pitch out and he goes after them in another direction, then hey, I won't try to call to him. I'll try to call to the hens. I'll try to call to them and get one of them hens to answer me back, the dominant hen, and see if she'll come and drag him in. Maybe she wants to come whoop my butt, so she guess what she gonna bring with her? That's right, he's gonna go where she gonna go. So once they pitch off and I know that they're not coming my direction, then I'll really start cutting. I'll get fired up. I'll start calling. I'll shake the limbs off the tree. I'll call to where it's loud, and I'll try to get one of them hens to get angry enough to where she'll come to me. Now, if they don't, if they just walk out of your life, still don't give up hope, because most of the turkeys I've killed I've killed probably over 100 and some in my life. Most of the turkeys I've killed has been not right off the roost. Now I shot them, early, fly off the roost to me, and been done in 30 minutes. And I've done that quite a bit. But hey, most of my turkeys have come 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock up in the day. Once they lose their hens. So just keep, as long as that turkey's gobbling, as long as he's interested, and he may just be with them hens, stay with him, because he's going to lose them hens eventually. And you be back there every once in a while calling to him, and you be back there telling you love him enough. And when them hens start leaving him, he gonna come looking for the one that he ain't got yet, right? So I've done that. So don't give up hope. Don't overcall. Read the turkey. Read his body language if you can see him, and just be patient. Try not to set up too close to where he's going to be looking for that turkey. Let him come looking for you, and that's how I hunt a turkey that's up on a limb. And I've had some good success over the years doing that. So I hope that helped you. And we're going to be talking a lot more turkey. Hope you're enjoying the videos. If you haven't joined my Facebook yet, go to my Facebook, click on in the description there, click on the link over, come over and join me, hit like and follow. We're going to be talking more turkey. I do other videos on there that's not here. And so we're going to be talking a lot of turkey, and share with me your experiences. Tell me if the videos are helping you. Tell me about your success this spring. Just follow me, and let's have a good time together this spring. All right, turkey season's getting closer, and and we're all getting fired up. So until the next video in a couple of days, we'll see you. Be practicing them calls. It's getting close.